Ladies and gentlemen, I have an oh so special game of Heroes of the Storm to show you. As you can see it titled here, this is indeed the most absurd ARAM game I have ever seen in my life. It's possible that there are games more absurd than what happened in this game, but I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be pretty hard to beat this. This shit is insane. This shit is insane. You'll see, you'll see. Okay, now we are. Alrighty. So as I was saying, ARAM, I happened to random one of my favorite heroes, Anduin here. Favorite healers, that is. We're gonna see this boy pump out some fucking big numbers by the end of this. This boy, I guess, meaning myself. And this Decker Kane is gonna do much less, so I don't know if he... Maybe it's not Deckard's fault, maybe it's his teammates' fault that his healing numbers were so low, because it looks like he has some pretty good potion coverage going so far. We're gonna bump this up to ×4. As you can see, this replay is a half hour long. It's insane. Just suffice it to say, it is fucking insane. And I completely forgot how bonkers it was until I rewatched it just to refresh my memory on it. And it's seriously, I think it's the most absurd game out of all the MOBAs that I've seen. It's just the most bonkers. I keep saying bonkers, but it just is. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't really get interesting until about 10 minutes in and we hit level 20. That's when the actual game starts. This is just foreplay. This is just the normal ARAM shit. Everybody's getting fucked up by Deathwing. Deathwing's particularly good here. I'm doing my best to pump out some good healing numbers. Right now I'm at 8,000. That's about average, I would say. Okay, one does do that, excuse me. Deckard again doing fine potion coverage, I think. I believe it's just his team being shitty for him not having big numbers. Our team versus their team. We got a really weird team composition if you really think about it. Chromie and Nova can dish out a lot of damage, and so can Jimmy. But this Raynor doesn't end up being good, and I don't blame him. I'm sure, like, if you don't play Raynor, Raynor is probably a weird hero to play. But overall, I would say their composition is a lot better. They have the range damage of Azmodan, the damage over time of Gul'dan, and the whole Cassia burst damage and shit. And Cassia, of course, directly countering Jim Raynor. And of course, Deathwing just being a total menace. But the late game just ends up being too much. It's insane. I don't know how we managed to pull it off, but we do. We pull it off somehow. But spoiler warning, we win somehow. Just fucking somehow. So again, not too much happening. I'm just gonna leave it on ×4 because otherwise it's just gonna be way too hard to follow. Not that much of this is worth following at the moment. It's just pretty typical scrapping. Gul'dan and Cassia, if we look at their numbers, I imagine they're doing pretty well for themselves. Yes, and Azmodan actually at the top of the charts of the damage board for the enemy team. Chromie, of course, doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Nova and the rest about average on hero damage. So as you can see, they've kind of got a bit of an advantage right now. They're pushing into, and they're going to kind of maintain that advantage overall. It's going to be a little swingy, but it gets really close, and then it gets ridiculous. I'm going to stop hyping it up. Wrote down my protected. That's one of my favorite things about Anduin, is his protected ultimate. That thing is so fucking overpowered, but overall as well, Anduin just has an amazing kit. I think he's able to put out so much AoE healing and some really strong spot healing as well, and his root is kind of busted. I don't know. It's a really strong root, and I was gonna say not many healers have roots, but there's actually a couple that do, but his feels particularly, I don't know, potent. I guess because it's more or less point and click, and it's really hard to miss it. You will see we end up losing a lot of people, and this once again gives them a chance to push in on our buildings, and they end up taking down the first one, and I believe they end up taking down the wall too here. Some good Asmodan dunks combined with, oh yeah, a Hellish Sleep combined with Deathwing combined with a dunk. Actually, no, we do really fine here. Let me, excuse me a second. Let's back this up just a moment, because this was actually a pretty cool turnaround, I like to think. We could have been completely womboed here, but somehow we weren't. So again, lost Leoric and Jimmy, but it's not too big of a deal because it's early enough in the game that we come back soon. We're in a bad position, hiding behind our wall. Deckard lands a really wonderful sleep, and if the enemy team were to have capitalized on that more, we would have worked in their favor, but instead Jimmy lets out a really great, I forget the name of that ult, but his ultimate is done really well there. A good Leoric follow-up ends up getting us a kill on Asmodan and really damaging everybody else. Allowing us to push back and gain a bit of footing. Actually, we have an XP lead now. We've been consistently behind until this point. Good fear. And now actually there was a terrible feeling Gul'dan died. Deathwing comes out from the ether. Looks like Leoric's probably gonna die here. Yep. Nope, he escapes. Apparently I didn't pay too much attention last time. Just a bunch of scrapping going on right now. Some good Asmodan dunks. Being a good Asmodan on ARAM, it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Another pretty good sleep with some good follow-up damage and ended up wounding us pretty good. And then just some really good Gul'dan numbers going off there, just the damage over time. Not too sure what happened to Jim there. I think he just stood still, which was, not something you want to do when you're a ranged character. You kind of want to be shooting and scooting, but I understand that's difficult. Another really good Leoric tombstone puts enemies in a... We could have followed up on that better. It ended up actually kind of backfiring on us really hard. We just had no follow-up, I guess, and then I called a very, very early GG. As you can see, I believe the game is done. But there's still 20 minutes left on this bad boy. Let's actually go analyze that team fight a little bit, because that was kind of a defining moment. So just giving my healing numbers another quick check. 57,000. Pretty good for this point in the game. I'd say 10 minutes, that's about average. Again, Deckard's sadly lacking. Not his fault. I'm going to say it's not his fault for sure now. Oh, we've already watched this, but oh well. This is the part that I wanted to talk about anyways, coming up. Because Leoric's gonna come back in just a moment. So yeah, Jim was dead. Leoric's about to come back. And he's gonna land a pretty good ultimate here. Pretty good tombstone, but it's really... We just don't have the damage to follow up on it. So it ends up just kind of really backfiring on us, because everybody was just really out of position. Yeah, the good fear puts Leoric in a really bad spot. I tried to save him with the protected, but he runs out of the way. I get absolutely nuked by Gul'dan. Leoric still very weak. Deathwing, ranged form, kind of gonna wreck us here, along with the Asmodan and Cassia. Again, I call the early GG. Jimmy just completely standing in Deathwing's Fire Breath and getting annihilated. Left with Leoric and Chromie to defend, which honestly is a pretty strong team to defend. Gul'dan ends up dying for nothing. Leoric almost dies. We're gonna lose this keep here pretty easily. I'll do my best to try, poke. I don't have any damage. I'm a fucking healer, but gotta keep those numbers up. Speaking of 71,000, thank you very much. Only gonna get better. Really good Cassia engage here. Leoric tries to alter for some reason, followed up by a really great Deckard sleep. Kinda puts Chromie in it, not Chromie, but Nova in a terrible position, lines up a great Asmodee dunk. Leoric doing his best to try to get some life back. But we're really in a poor position here. We're 2 levels down. Jim dies, but not before throwing out an ultimate. They ended up catching Gul'dan, and Cassia ends up dying over here too, I think. Yeah, Leoric gives chase, kills Cassia. We're way the fuck back here. Leoric's doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. He's playing his own game, as it turns out. He seems to be doing alright at it. I'm just concentrating on healing. Again, Leoric somewhere in the next zip code. Doing the Lord's work, honestly. He nearly got that Asmodee killed, and that Deckard Cain. At this point, Cassia leaves the game, which I actually didn't know that she left the game while playing this, and I forgot about it completely. Well, I just didn't know, so it kind of makes this game a bit shittier, because now, they're down a player, and that maybe they could have won if they weren't down a player, but I don't know. Beautiful, if I might say so, for just a moment, if I can rewind for merely a second here. I just wanted to point out a really good usage of old Anduin Rin's trait here, the life grip. Bring that down to normal real quick. Speed it up, and it's still up too soon. Yeah, Cassia leaves, we get completely knockered by Asmodee. I'm waiting on my cooldowns, if I had to guess. Another big Asmodee dunk. Leoric gets stunned because he's numbnuts. Great follow-up sleep, but I use the trait to pull Leoric to safety and then dump him into protected, saving his life, saving everybody's life, but killing Deathwing in the process. Oh my god. Some really tight healing from me. I'm not going to pat myself on the back too bad, but yeah, that was really, really clutch healing that kept my team alive there. Leoric still somehow managing to stay alive. Almost saved his life completely, but Gul'dan was too much. We are now 21-21, and the level that is 16-19 kills, and the actual game has now begun, ladies and gentlemen. I'm probably going to keep it at normal speed, if not faster, for the majority of the time here, because it is non-stop action. It is going to be a situation where both teams have at least one player dead at almost all times. There will almost never be a full-on 5v5 for the rest of this match, and that's why it goes so long. We are now just cresting the halfway points. Jim uses his ult to push the lane. That's terrible. They're trying to take the camp here. It's a good call. Jim is in a really bad spot. He realizes that, he backs up. We get the camp, easy peasy. We end up pushing up against their fort, and I think we're actually going to take it here. Probably. We're quite healthy right now. Their healer is, I'm not too sure where. There he is. Oh, there he is. Yes, he was dead, I guess, and now just coming back, he needs to throw out a bunch of potions. They're actually starting to maintain their footing here. I pull Jim away. I try to save Jim with the protected. Jim runs away. I say sad. Because the poor bastard probably didn't know what my ultimate did. But that could have saved his life. Because of that, we end up losing Leoric. Nova does some decent damage. Cassia does some decent damage. So it just kind of evens out. Myself, Chromie, and Nova alive right now. Bound to lose Chromie. Unfortunate now, myself and Nova. Very difficult position to be in. They have 5 alive. Leoric doing his best to leech some life and come back. I'm doing my best to keep Nova alive. Definitely comes out of the ether. Grab the healing globe and a quick Q on Nova to keep her topped off. I think I'm gonna die here. I somehow don't die here. Leoric comes back. He's stolen enough life. Got Deckard Cain rooted. Maybe a follow-up on that? Let's see, Leoric's going super hard. Yeah, we ended up killing Deckard there. I'm not too sure how. Cassia doing so much damage, though. So is Asmodan. If we can check the charts for just a minute, I want to look at everybody's numbers. Asmodan sitting at 115,000 damage done. Excuse me a second. Almost fully double what our highest damage is with Nova, so he was doing some heavy lifting, but Cassia also putting up some big numbers. Deckard, 62,000 healing. Little low, again, not his fault, but I've about doubled his healing, and we still have 15 minutes of the game to go. Leoric, big self-healing as well. Whoopsie. So, doing my best to keep my teammates healthy. Jam throws out a panic ultimate, I think. Does his best to kill a Gul'dan. Actually ends up killing the Gul'dan quite effectively. I do my best to keep the rest of my team alive, and I succeed. Deathwing almost dies, but a really well-placed spear keeps him protected, as well as a good cataclysm here. Amazing Asmodan dunk ended up taking Jimmy out, and Leoric following up with a strong tombstone to kill the Asmodan. Cassia unfortunately missing her skill shot there. Again, bot Cassia, so, you know, there's that. I end up saving Leoric, but, oh, bot Cassia almost kills Nova, so there's that. Again, Jimmy's dead on our team. Asmodan and Gul'dan on the enemy team. We are up at their keep. Putting a lot of pressure on. Really strong position right now. Nova getting a little too forward for my liking, but we do take the fort. I think I called it the keep earlier, that was just a fort. Might have a full fight, but nope. Leoric's gonna die here, and so did Cassia. Actually, terrible fear from Gul'dan. Cassia died. Leoric's totally fine because I'm amazing at what I do. I do the healer thing. Yes, I do. Cassia's dead. So now a 5v4 favor us. Amazing Asmodan dunk knocks Leoric out of the match there. Out of the fight, I should say. 4v4, great Deathwing drop. Hurts us pretty bad. Chromie's low, Jimmy's low. I try to save Jimmy's life. I put my trade on cooldown. It makes me sad. Leoric dead for a while still. Nova getting chased by some scary boys. I'm doing my best to keep Chromie alive. Succeeding at it. We somehow end up killing Gul'dan by, I guess, some really good Chromie plays. Some more healing by me keeps Chromie alive, and unfortunately another powerful Asmodan dunk takes out Nova. 3v4 favor enemy team. Leoric going forward on the Asmodan, not a terrible idea. Unfortunately, he eats a bunch of fire to the face. Me doing my best just to follow up on whatever he's doing, keeping him healthy, and try to protect Chromie at the same time, because she's our only source of damage. Ended up killing the Azmodan. Deathwing questionably cataclysms that direction. Now a 3v4 favor us. Gul'dan about to return. Losing Deckard Cain. 2v4 favor us. About to get our Nova back. Now a 3v4. We're in a really healthy position. Right now, just bot Cassio holding the line. I think Deathwing is in the air. Somebody pings for a camp. I think I'm pinging for our team to do something. Like grabbing a camp. I don't know if that's the case or not, but somebody was pinging the camp, which was a good idea. I think we end up getting this guy pretty quickly. Decent, actually that's right, really strong fear followed up by the Deathwing drop. Ends up getting the camp for the enemy team, but in return we take Gul'dan's and probably Deathwing's life for pretty much nothing. So I would say that was a fair trade. I don't think I used my trait enough, but I did go the talent to get the Glyph of Fate extra trait charge. Probably didn't use it enough, but it is what it is. Cassia stepping really far forward because she's a bot. I'm not too sure how she... I don't know why Reitner was way up here and Cassia was way back here. I'm actually kind of curious. Okay, I kind of lost the plot and forgot what I was talking about, so we're just going to move back to this scene here. Taking a look at the charts again, Azmodan completely wrecking it in damage, but I have healed more damage than... He has actually done almost as much damage as I have healed. Our numbers are big, that's what I'm trying to say. We get the big dick numbers, but ours are very small penis. We go for the camp. Actually in a pretty safe position to do so, but again, really good fear followed up by a strong Deathwing drop. Ends up taking the camp, but they lose both of the guys because that was a 5v2. Cassia, because being the bot she is, that's what we were talking about, is way the fuck up here, even though her entire team is dead. So we just kind of walk away and spread out a bit, and Cassia's just kind of over here, and Jim's just over here, and we end up killing Cassia. Nova's trying to solo a camp. It's not going well. Jimmy at half health now. Working on keeping him healthy. Bringing in Chromie back up to health. Take this camp. Good shit. We still... Reminder, we have no buildings. We only have our core. They still have a fort and the core. And there is still 12 minutes left in this game. I don't know how this happened, man. So they are waiting on, I'm not too sure what, actual 5v5 action going on here. Deckard, was he griefing? Was Deckard griefing there? It kind of looked like Deckard was griefing. Deckard throws a potion at us. It's not very effective. I think he must have lagged out, is what I'm going to assume. I think he might have right-clicked and lagged out. He just kind of walked into our team and died. So now, numbers advantage us. Deathwing doing some pretty great AoE damage on top of the Azmodan here, though. Pretty great breath. I end up protecting most of it, so not as great as it could have been. Unfortunately, Gul'dan's damage is redonkulous. Follow up with Deathwing is also really strong. We pick up Gul'dan with a nice triple tap. Follow up Cataclysm from Deathwing here is going to end up killing me, actually. I was put in a really bad spot. Chromie, Nova, and Leoric left behind with no healer. Actually really bad for them. Pretty hard spot to be in. Another great dunk. Azmodan just doing a shitload of damage. Leoric kind of just throwing his life away. Nearly taking out Deathwing in the process, but not what I would call worth it. 4v2 advantage enemy team. Teammates on just supremely low health. Leoric doing his best to try to win some health back. I honestly think maybe not. If it was a real Cassia, then yes. But that was a bot Cassia. It looks like Gul'dan was also standing back at base, doing Lord only knows what. Nova dies. Chromie almost dies, I think. But I'm back up, which means that my team can survive a lot. I saved Chromie's life. Jim steps up too far, gets chunked by Azmodan. Leoric up way too far. Good ultimate from Jim, though. Lands directly over top of the Deathwing and the Deckard Cain, kinda just ripping them apart. Jim pretty forward along with Cassia, is really forward. Don't end up picking up any kills there, which is on either team, which is honestly astonishing. That's some ridiculous sustain from both of us. Numbers, 183,000 done, healing done by me, with 168,000 from Azmodan. Damage done with 131 siege damage. That Azmodan, his dunks were ridiculous. He was carrying his team so hard. But some good spells go off. Leoric is way too forward. A great sleep puts me in a bad position, losing Leoric. Jimmy being way too far forward. Now in a 3v5 bad position for us. Two of our squishiest team members alive and a healer. Really can't do much except poke at them, except that Nova gets this amazing double kill here. Gul'dan almost completely takes her life, but due to some hot healing from me, Nova manages to survive just barely. Even numbers, 3v3. Leoric trying to come back. Do some damage to the Cassia, or at least attempt to get some health. Chromie almost killed by the Cassia. It does end up getting picked off. Almost gets picked off. Another tight heal, and a great double triple tap from Cassia.
Threat eliminated.
Not Cassia, double triple tap from Nova takes the enemy team down. At this point, 197,000 healing. Still have 9 minutes left in the game. We still have no buildings and a Deckard Cain potion in our base. We are applying fort pressure. Strong Jimmy ult. Good healing's keeping my team topped off. They are down a Gul'dan right now, but fortunately they have Azmodan, which is almost as good, if not better. We need to do some core damage, but instead, Deckard Cain puts us to sleep, and then Deathwing lands on top of us and just does insane damage. Tight protected, gonna do a lot of healing, but amazing follow-up Cataclysm and ultimate from Cassia is gonna secure a couple of kills here. 3 kills for us. I call the secondary GG, which honestly should be GG, but Nova picking up a kill on the Azmodan. I am gloating about my healing done, which, if I may say so, is quite high. Only the DPS alive on our team, again, doing their very best just to poke down the enemies and keep them from really doing much, and actually doing a fantastic job, both Nova and Chromie. Doing a ton. Triple tap comes out, kills the Gul'dan. Another strong triple tap I think is going to come out here. Yep, gets the Cassia. A final triple tap kills the Deckard along with some great Dragon Claws from Chromie. Just completely mopping them up. We now have huge numbers advantage. They could have and should have won that, but due to some just amazing poke, my team pulled through, and somehow we're still in this game. We decided to take a camp here, probably a good decision. At this point, we can maybe attack the core? I don't know. We probably could have just attacked the core and won the game there, but it's a little hard to say. We had quite the advantage, but I don't know. Teammates now just sitting at the base. Cassia has been dead. I don't know how long she has been dead for, but quite a while. Great dunk, chunks us really hard. Jimmy in a bad position. Great follow-up, Cassia ultimate though. Lose ourselves. Cassia, strong fear, Deathwing, sleep. We get completely chained CC, just bursted down to fucking nothing. Leoric doing his best to try to harass the backline, but unfortunately, yeah, my protected was feared. Probably would have been in a better position if the protected wasn't feared. Leoric doing his damnedest to get Deckard dead here. Managing to do it somehow, but probably gonna die due to the combined forces of Deathwing and Azmodan. Indeed, he does. Once again. 3v4 advantage enemy team. Down to our DPS. Chromie doing the Lord's work. Another strong triple tap. Unfortunately, Deathwing there to soak much of the damage. This is me griping about the fact that if we hit the core, we would have won the game, but no, we keep trying to kill heroes. Azmodan throws his life away. Nova seeming like she's gonna throw her life away. I call that's the third GG. I'm begging someone to attack the core. Leoric instead fucking with Deathwing. We're on our way back though. Jimmy and myself. Even 3v3 right now. Lord trying to get the fuck out of there. Nova commenting that she tried very hard. Indeed, she did. Catching Cassia out. Advantage us now. Numbers, that is. Another really strong sleep. Follow-up by Gul'dan. Gonna chunk me super hard. Strong fear throws Leoric out of place as well as a drop from Deathwing, but my protected is gonna keep me and Jimmy pretty safe. I try to save Leoric there, but end up pulling him into a fantastic dunk from Azmodan. Just another fucking phenomenal dunk. Team flat out wipes again. Down to R2 DPS again. And four members of the enemy team alive. In all honesty, right here, the game should be lost, and there's still 5 minutes left. Deckard Cain trying to take a camp by himself. Nova completely catches him, and she's just gonna destroy his anus. Chromie following up on the Azmodan. Nova rotating in. Probably gonna pick up a kill on the Gul'dan here, if I had to guess. Instead focusing the Azmodan, which is questionable. Nova kind of throwing her life away, as well as the triple tap. We do end up getting Gul'dan off of it, and forcing Azmodan away, but I feel like could be better. I don't know. Again, Cassie just completely out of position because she's bot. Strong follow-up tombstone. And a nice ult from Jim. It's an okay ult. I think we end up just taking a shitload of damage here, though, because Deathwing. I am alive. I'm doing my best to. So, in case you didn't see it, Cassia's lightning orb was just bouncing back and forth between our teammates there. Doing so much damage. Now I'm trying to patch my team up as best I can. Leoric going in a little too deep for my taste. Chromie gets absolutely dunked by Azmodan. She was much too low. She should have been further back. Looking at the numbers, the also important numbers. 163,000 siege damage, 218,000 hero damage from this Azmodan. 239,000 healing, and I still have 4 minutes left. Leoric taking up the highest damage done on our team, which is kind of weird. I think he's mostly focusing his drain on Azmodan and Deathwing, probably where he's getting it, and then Nova and Chromie, of course, picking up the rear there. Doing the best they can. Doing really well. More strong fire. Leoric in a really bad position. I probably could have traded there. Somehow, Deathwing dies. Somehow, Asmodan dies. Hold on a second. How the fuck did that happen? Oh my god. This shit is insane. I can't believe this fucking video game. Alright, where are we? Alright, this is, yeah, Decker Kane gets completely shot in the pooper. And Nova's gonna end up throwing her life away. Let me move that out of the way. She's not in a great spot. She should be further back. Ends up taking a shitload of damage for no reason. Followed by the Deathwing. Picking up the kill there. How does this work? Here's that lightning orb I mentioned, just completely bouncing between the four of us. We're just taking so much fucking damage from that fucking lightning orb. Oh my god. Doing my best to keep Leoric alive. Chromie out of position, gonna take a shitload of damage. Doing her best to keep damage out. Leoric steps forward. Smacks. We lose Chromie. Smacks Asmodan. We're in a scary spot. I'm trying to keep him alive. Jimmy's at low health. We have the numbers advantage. Leoric once again goes in. Ends up doing a bunch of damage to Deathwing here, I guess. Jim just doing great auto attacks on the Deathwing, and Leoric being persistent. Gain does 2 kills, but unfortunately, Gul'dan nearly killed the Leoric. Another really strong protected coming out and clutching the day. Clutching the life. I don't know what you want to call that. Really strong Cassia ultimate. Takes 2 of us down though. I die immediately. Actually, Leoric doesn't die, but it's pretty close. Cassia ended up dying there too. Pretty scary position for my team to be in. No healer. Chromie really far away. Of course, Leoric does have his own forms of self-sustain, but Gul'dan is a lot of damage. They end up doing a shitload of damage to Gul'dan because he played that poorly. And for no other reason, if you ask me. Now we're in quite the advantageous position. I'm begging the team to hit the core. Great tombstone by Leoric. Ends up killing Decker Kane here. Strong sleep from Deckard. Ends up saving his life, actually. He doesn't die shortly after we lose 2. Oh my god, that sleep from Deckard was so bananas. Holy shit. I'm running to my team's rescue. Chromie and Jimmy just running for their lives. I don't think I've used my trait in minutes. Very bad. Oh, I thought for sure that Deckard was gonna die, but that sleep was so hot. Jim throws down his ultimate to try to dissuade the enemy team and tries to follow up with more damage. Unfortunately, he's in a really bad spot right now. Gonna get picked out by the fatties. My trait coming in handy, saving his life completely. Leoric in a really forward position. We eat a bunch of damage from Asmodan again. We end up doing a bunch of damage to him though. Fucking Deathwing's health just melted. Very strong fear. Really dispositioned. A lot of us ended up getting Leoric dead. Me following very closely behind, almost in death. Just doing my best to keep myself alive. Asmodan really out of position here. Ended up going to take his life. Jim gets a kill on Deckard. Gul'dan kills Jim in return. We kill Asmodan. Strong triple tap comes out on Gul'dan. Now 3v2 advantage us. Cassia way out of position. Protect just to make sure we don't die. Glory triple tap there to secure the kill. 269,000 healing. 230. The numbers are so insane in this game. I'm begging my team just to follow me and just hit the core at this point because we are actually 3v4. 3v1. Deathwing is up in the air. 4v1 too. Deathwing was in the air, nobody else was alive. I'm begging the team, please just hit the fucking core. Nobody's hitting the core. Deathwing fears us. Some follow-up from Deckard here, another strong sleep, and a huge dunk from Asmodan just chunks us so hard. Deathwing in a really great position. I'm silenced forever. Leoric dies, Chromie dies, I die, Nova dies, almost. Somehow not dead. Jim running to his death, just absolutely sprinting to it.
Hero slain.
At this point, one would think we would lose the game, but fortunately, the enemy team just completely forgets how Leoric's kit works, and he is able to just stay behind and hit the core. As you can see, they are pushing in really hard. Deckard again, trying to solo a camp, I think. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Jimmy telling Jimmy just to stay alive. They could win here. Seriously, they could, but instead Leoric is alive, smacking the core. And we fucking win the most insane match of Heroes of the Storm I think I've ever witnessed in my entire fucking existence. Final stats here. Biggest numbers. Asmodan with almost 200,000 siege damage. Oh, almost 250,000 hero damage. Myself coming in at 270,000 healing done. Leoric, almost 200,000 damage done. Nova and Chromie following pretty close behind with each other. Cassia also doing a bunch. Gul'dan and Deathwing falling short. Jimmy at the bottom rung. He did his best. I'm positive he did his best. That game is absurd. It's insane. It's there are no words, honestly, for what the fuck this game was, but there it is, guys. That's it. That's the most fucking insane game I think anyone has ever seen of Heroes of the Storm.